Hello and welcome to another episode of In Mint Condition, the Stovall Brothers podcast covering movies, comics, and TV shows. I'm your host, Justin. Joining me is my brother and co-host, Mo.
What up, what up?
Alright, we are glad to be back. Glad to finally get a new episode out to y'all. Please excuse any background noise. We are recording in a new environment today. But we might end up going back to our old location. But, we just want to try something out new today. And y'all just going to have to deal with it. We back, all right? Look, we had sicknesses and illnesses and Mother's Days and all this.
I'm both of them. I'm not just calling you out.
I'll burn this house to the ground.
Do it.
After I move on my comics.
I said after I move on my comics. We're going to use it to fan the flames.
Anyway, we are glad to be back. We're going to just hop right into this. This might be another short episode. I don't know. We'll see what we got to say. But we're going to hop right in with our comic review. And this week we are reviewing Star Wars Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen and LaRocca. Please give me the first name or I'll do it. I think it starts with a K. Nope. Christopher. Salvador.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
I was close. That's got to be what, maybe 10 letters?
Oh my god.
That's not too bad. There's only 26 of them. Anyway. Salvador LaRocca was on the art. And this is the first volume. This is the first Vader comic. It came out in, I want to say 2000.
Oh, we're off to a great start. He said 2000. I want to say 15.
All right, I'm going to say 14.
Oh, here we go. Where's the money at? Watch us both be wrong.
2015.
Whoo!
All right, nobody likes a bragger.
Let's go.
So this comic came out in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of the original line of the new Marvel Star Wars comics after they bought the property and moved all the comics over from Dark Horse and scrapped all of the continuity so that only the movies and animated series were canon. So this comic takes place right after episode 4, well, not right after, but
just a little bit after,
maybe a couple months after episode 4, the Death Star is destroyed and Darth Vader got in trouble with his with his boss. And yeah, this was interesting because we see Darth Vader. Well, let's break down the story first. Darth Vader, the book opens with Darth Vader, and we're talking about the first issue here of the first volume. Darth Vader goes to Tatooine, and he's at Jabba's palace. And the artist, like Salvador LaRocca, is very amazingly gifted. He makes everything look like the movies, while still playing in a comic book world. It's artistic. And
I was gonna say, are you gonna drag new artists again? Like you didn't know.
I never dragged them. It came off maybe as a little wrong, but all I was saying
new
is
artists
that
suck, bro. I missed
never
the golden
said
age.
that. I never ever said that. All I said was that there is a nostalgic feeling that one might get from older comics and older art styles. Because things are done more digitally day and age. And there's nothing wrong with that. It has improved the quality of the work tremendously. However,
Uh-oh, there it is.
as an from a nostalgic point of view,
The snowball's getting bigger, my boy. Just
one might just say, "Well, look, the older art just hit better for me," and that's all. That was my point. This art is awesome. I just tweeted the other day that Doc Shaner is one of the greatest artists of this age. I like this new art. I just also like the old art as well, and the two different styles are different. One isn't better. It just depends on your preference.
all right, big dog.
Listen, I'm trying to get into the industry,
Go.
and you are just putting stumbling blocks in my path.
Look, hey, these are your words, my boy.
My words. I'm gonna delete that episode.
It's like a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
But back to the lesson at hand. Darth Vader is in Jabba's palace, and they recreate the opening sequence from Episode 6. Well, not the opening. I think it was a little bit on, but when Luke enters the palace and he deals with the guards, Vader is much more violent, and he threatens everyone, and he makes a deal with Jabba. He's on personal business, and then he's like, when I come back tomorrow, we'll deal with what the Emperor has. And Jabba tries to kill him, but of course Darth Vader doesn't play that. He almost steps over the opening to the Rancor pit, but Vader senses something's wrong and he steps back. It paid homage to that sequence from Return of the Jedi very well. But like I said, the art is very good, and Vader ends up using Jabba to conscript Boba Fett and a Wookiee called Krrsantan. It's
I've always
Krrsantan.
Let's see.
A lot of consonants, not a lot of vowels.
Not a lot of vowels. Krrsantan.
Yeah, Krrsantan. That's how I'm saying.
Krrsantan.
That's what I said.
That sounds like Chris Hansen, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I said that and I was like, that's funny. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Vader ends up hiring them to track down Luke Skywalker, and then because he finds out in the main Star Wars title, he deals with the rebels on a Imperial outpost, and he fights Luke, and he realizes that Luke has his old lightsaber, and so he's like, I gotta find out who this guy is that Obi-Wan was training. In this issue as well, the Emperor is like, Vader, you messed up. And this was interesting because this is a side of their relationship that none of the other media has ever delved into.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see the Emperor actually pissed off at Vader. Vader and the Emperor tend to have a good relationship within the movies. Some of the other books and comics, have dealt with how Vader's suit is made so that he's always in constant pain. And, we can't ignore that Palpatine is manipulating Anakin and using him for his own goals. That part has always been evident, but to actually see the Emperor blatantly like, look, man, you screwed up, and now you got to pay for it. We've never really, you haven't really seen that before. Maybe there's some old, old books or comics that I haven't gotten around to that they did that in. But as far as me, Star Wars, I haven't touched on everything. I used to read some of the old books.
I certainly hope not.
When I what you got to say, man?
I think it was a great way to open because by the end of the comic, you see that Vader had went back and destroyed Sand People village.
The correct term is Tusken
Oh my
Raiders.
gosh.
Sand people is a slur.
Are you done?
I want you to be done with your racism.
Oh my god.
That's what I really want.
Anyways,
Anyway,
it was a good opening to the rest of the series. Because we see Vader back on Tatooine, and then again, this side of Vader and Palpatine's relationship threw me off the first time I read it. Because I expected them, like, because how they usually interact throughout the other movies and shows, but like this time, Palpatine was just like, "You lost my battle station. How are you gonna fix it?" Like, he has like no patience for Vader, and I'm like, dog, like. But then Vader kept the information about Luke from Palpatine when Palpatine asked. And then it was also, this is like hindsight knowledge or whatever, but Palpatine brings in somebody into his office that he hired to replace Vader. And Vader's like, "Who is this?" And Palpatine's like, "You don't need to worry about who this is. Are you done?" I was like, dog. But it was a good opening to the series. It is definitely a series I think that's worth reading.
yeah, it definitely leans into how the Sith are. They use each other to get what they want, and the master doesn't trust the apprentice just wants to kill the master. I think before this, especially as the comics go on, we're branching off outside of just this issue because it's our podcast, so we can do what we
Yeah.
want. And y'all just gonna listen, or you won't. You'll turn it off, but leave a like before you go. Share it with a friend. Spoilers ahead for Bad Batch. We're gonna get that out of the way now. The first 3 episodes we're just gonna be tackling.
We gotta
today.
remember to do that at the beginning of recording.
And I'm not going back to edit it.
It's alright.
If one of you want to edit for me,
We can't pay you, but we'd appreciate it.
we'll take up a love offering at the end of service. But at somewhere within this volume and within the main Star Wars title, Jason Aaron and John Cassidy were on the main Star Wars title, which again I also recommend. I haven't read all of it, but I've read through the first 3 or 4 volumes, and that's another really good series that I highly recommend. We get to see some Obi-Wan flashbacks on Tatooine, which will be showing up in the series. But the point that I was trying to make was that Vader ends up finding out that Luke is his son
That's at the end of the...
within the first volumes of Vader and the main Star Wars title. And he's pissed off because the Emperor lied to him. And so that really starts putting him on the journey to, by the end of episode 6, killing the Emperor. Because the Emperor has, he's realizing, okay, maybe Obi-Wan was right. The Emperor is using me, and instead of being a Jedi, though, he's leaning more into his hate, which is what Palpatine wants, and it's pushing him further down the dark side. But man, when he finds out Luke's name, it's
Dude. Because they have like a flashback to when Padme told him he was pregnant, or she was pregnant.
Yeah, he was pissed
He like
off.
shattered the whole window that he was standing in front of. I was like, dude.
Maybe we'll use that image as the thumbnail.
Hey, it's a cold image too.
Man, they deal with Vader, and it's perfect. You see, what I like about the Vader comic is that they don't shy away that this is Anakin.
Yeah.
This was the guy from the prequels. He is Darth Vader, and this is
Hmm.
why he's Darth Vader. This is how his past is still affecting him. This is what's happening to him, and it works very well.
Yeah, because at one point, he was building an army. He went to Geonosis to like build an army of droids, and he had Padme's old ship from during the Clone Wars that he used to like transport the stuff. So that's like they really do lean into the Anakin Skywalker stuff. And I think that it's interesting throughout the series they like show us like the extent and even beyond the extent of Vader's abilities as he's like dealing with everything that Palpatine's throwing at him and just like everything else pretty much. Cuz I think in one issue he was fighting the guy that Palpatine hired to replace him, and at least I think it was like two or three times he flew his ship into the other ship right before the other ship jumped into hyperspace. I was like, "Dog, Vader is bad." I was like, he kept doing it. So the writers of this handle Vader really well. And it's not like a comic where I'm like, "Oh, they should have done this, they should have done that." Like as I'm reading, I'm like, "This is
And it doesn't mess with the movie continuity
yeah,
either, and that's what I like. Any supplementary material that you do for a movie it should complement what the movie did. You shouldn't be trying to alter and unless the movie was bad, you shouldn't be trying to alter and change. But you also shouldn't have to read everything and
yeah,
go watch this short and you have to listen to this interview that the creator did so that you can understand the movie. A movie should have everything encapsulated in it, and everything outside of it should supplement and just make it better, make it more enjoyable.
yeah."
But and that's what this series did along with the other Star Wars series. I want to read more of the Star Wars stuff, but I've been pretty content with the movies and TV shows. I do enjoy these Star Wars comics, but my heart is laying with the with the movies, with the TV shows. Maybe next week we'll do a free comic book day issue from ages ago. Do another Star Wars comic though. Maybe I'll get my hands on some cash and waste it on Star Wars comics. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not known for making good
Oh
decisions.
my gosh. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's what the Bible says. Um, but yeah. This is a great. Wow, my game just went through the roof. Okay, that's all right though. This is a great series.
Yes,
Highly
sir.
recommend it. Even if you just read the first volume, I think that's a good enough Vader analysis. Where if that's all you read, then you should be content. But I think at this point they've probably packaged the full run in an omnibus or put it in like two or three collections so you can just grab those and not have to worry about tracking down four or five paperbacks. But yeah, check it out. I would also recommend checking out John Cassidy and Jason Aaron's Star Wars series as well. They're a good complement if you read them together.
And if you do read this series, there's a volume of Vader Down, which I think is a separate story.
It's a crossover between the main Star Wars and the
Yeah.
Vader comic.
That falls in between this. I think it's volumes 4 and 5. I'd have to
I think
check
it's three and
again.
four,
3 and 4.
if I remember correctly. But evidence today has been
it's
that I
it,
don't remember nothing.
it's definitely it's either between 3 and 4 or 4 and 5, but it falls between um 2 volumes in this storyline, and it involves one of the replacements for Vader trying to kill Vader, and Vader obviously survives. But that's also an interesting collection of comics to go through.
Just buy them all. Buy them all. Use all your disposable income
Stupid.
to buy comics. It's what the Lord would want. Yeah. I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on ahead to our next section, and that is our discussion, our review, our thoughts, maybe even a soliloquy,
All right.
a monologue.
A dialogue.
I just want to hear my own voice, though. So you just hush.
Stupid.
We're going to be talking about The Bad Batch, the first 3 episodes of the brand new Star Wars animated series featuring The Bad Batch. They are Tell us who the Bad Batch are, Reese.
They're a bad batch of clones.
Oh my God, you're useless.
The Bad Batch is a group of clones that had genetic defects that were actually benefits. And they call themselves, what is it, Clone Force 99.
Mm-hmm.
And they just they're like the Suicide Squad without any, like, negative effects, you know? They just do the missions that nobody else wants to or nobody else can.
So
Pretty much.
99 is a reference to, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, 99 is a reference to a clone, another defective clone that debuted in Clone Wars, and he was sort of like a grandfatherly figure to the younger clones, and he ended up sacrificing himself to defend Kamino, which is the clones' homeworld, from an attack. And so that's where Clone Force 99, the name, comes from. And the Bad Batch debuted in the last season of Star Wars The Clone Wars in an arc that saw a fan favorite clone return from the dead.
Echo, echo, echo. Go ahead.
Just checking our viewership dropped.
Stupid.
But so after Clone Wars, Echo comes back and he joins up with the Bad Batch, and yeah, so they're off to the races in this series. The series starts off with, and we're just gonna go on. We're going in. We'll do a quick summary and give our thoughts as we go along. Y'all know we just be talking. We ain't really.
Stupid.
We don't really know what we're doing on this, man. We just talking.
Just talking.
We just talking. It's a good time. Y'all still listening.
Dude.
But what?
They shouldn't have had Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes,
voice.
they should have.
Dude.
Just hush. Hush. Hush.
It was so...
Hush. 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 Shut up.
Boy looked like he was 8 years old. Sounded like an adult.
No. Freddie Prinze Jr. changed his voice perfectly.
Changed? He didn't do anything to it. He sounded exactly the same as in Rebels.
He raised it like an octave.
Dude, barely.
Hush. Hush.
Right,
So the series starts off with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Deepa Baliba. And so Deepa Baliba is a Jedi. Am I saying her name right? Bilaba?
I don't know.
I've never said it out loud.
I made a joke to myself, like, Dua Lipa.
I almost said that. I almost said I was this close. I was like, that is not her name.
I was watching a video on YouTube and I was like Dua Lipa. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
I almost said it.
I
But
think you're saying it right.
I don't know. I've never pronounced it. And so her and her Jedi apprentice, Freddie Prinze Jr., are with their clone squad.
Known in canon as Caleb Dune, but we'll keep going with
His
it.
name is Freddie Prinze Jr. It's canon.
All right, go ahead.
Ezra Bridger said, "Who are you?"
Freddie.
He said, "My name is Freddie Prinze Jr. and I lead these rebels."
Stupid. Just keep talking about the show.
We are. Okay, so Freddie Prinze Jr. was born. The podcast is about to pivot to solely Freddie Prinze Jr. content.
Welcome back to the Freddie Prinze Jr. podcast.
Oh man. But they're on a planet with their clones, and they're getting their butts kicked by some battle droids, and the Bad Batch shows up to help out, and it helps them take out the battle droid forces because they were pinned down by tanks. And so they're just routing the droids. Everybody's having a good time. And then the clone commander gets a message.
Captain.
What?
Captain.
That's what I said.
You said commander.
No, I said captain.
You said commander.
I said captain.
100% you said commander.
When did I say commander?
When you were the clone commander. Or captain. Commander. You said commander. Shut up.
I said captain.
You said commander.
See,
you're
said confusing
commander.
yourself.
All right, people.
Sorry,
put in the comments if you heard him say commander or captain.
Well, they're not liars, so they're gonna say.
I mean, you're gonna see when you go back to edit.
When I go back and edit it, I'll say captain.
I'm sick of you. Anyways, keep going.
The clone captain said he got a message.
Said he got a message? Did he say?
What?
Did
No, I misspoke, you jerk.
Okay, because you had me call. I was like, wait a second. He might have said he had a message.
He got a message from the Emperor to execute Order 66, so all the clones start turning on the Jedi. Freddie Prinze Jr. Wants to go help out his master, but she's like, no, go run away, go be safe. So he runs away, and the Bad Batch are like, we got to go find him. What are the clones doing? Because none of their chips go off except... Crosshairs. Now Crosshairs is actually a crossover character from the Transformers.
Jesus. All right. And... No, you're done. You're done. Stop. Right now.
I'm not wrong.
Yes, you are. We gotta go find him. Crosshairs, get to that sniper position. I'm on
it. He had his live action debut in Transformers: Age of Extinction. I'm not wrong. But his chip goes off, and he's like, "We got to kill this Padawan." But Tracker, who is the leader, that's his name. What's his name? What's his name? Is it Hunter?
My boy said Tracker so confidently.
So Gatherer.
Stupid.
Oh
my god.
He
Oh.
Oh.
He was was trying to save Caleb.
He was trying to save
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr., but Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't trust him, so he managed to escape. And Crosshair is like, because Hunter said, "Oh, the kid got away. He he said he did. He died.
Because there was
he said he jumped over a
gorge,
chasm,
something like that,
and he died." And Crosshair was like, "Nah, you capping." So they all get called back to Camino, and the Bad Batch is like, "I'm just not rocking with this whole setup and this empire and all that." So they end up defecting, but they meet this kid named Omega or Omega.
Omega.
Omega. We're one Omega away from being offensive. She's like, "Hey, I like you guys. You're pretty fun." And so after the clones defect, she's like, "I want to go with y'all." And they're like, "You can't. You're a kid." And then they find out though that she's actually another defective clone. Her defect is that she's a woman.
Wow.
That's what they said. I didn't say
Wow.
that. They said that.
Y'all heard it here first, people.
The views expressed in this podcast do not reflect a Stovall Brothers production or its affiliates.
I am weak.
But so they find out Omega's one of them, so they're like, okay, she can come with us. And they all escape except for Crosshair, who tried to kill them because they were defecting. So that first episode is an hour long. I was not expecting for us to see Freddie Prinze Jr. in this episode. That was a welcome surprise.
Yeah, I know some fans were mad that they retconned.
Because they changed up his origin from his spin-off comic.
But I think it was an interesting... I mean,
I also didn't read the comic, so...
I was going to say,
Screw
it didn't bother me that much because I'd never read the comic. So
yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting for us to get the backstory
Mm-hmm.
On screen. But it threw me off because if you've seen the episode, the man looks 12.
And he sounds 12 as well.
He sounds like he's been...
If I didn't tell you it was Freddie Prinze Jr., you wouldn't know.
See, now if they had him voice, they could have had him do something different with his voice.
He did.
Boy sounded... His voice was like... it was too grown. His master was like, "Caleb, where'd you go?" He was like, "Oh, sorry, master. I was getting the reinforcements. I'm back though." Like, what are you doing?
5? We're done.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You missed all the
Okay,
fun.
so y'all heard
Watching
that?
your team in action was the fun.
Care to introduce your new friends, Caleb?
Yes, Master. Only if I can go with them.
Only if
Okay.
I can go with them.
So that you can clearly tell that is
Is it
a child.
an adult.
Now, this is an adult. Caleb Doom, also known as Kanan Jarrus, also known as Freddie Prinze Jr. Let's find it.
1, 2, 3.
Identical.
So now you'll notice
Identical.
that his voice has changed.
Identical. You're right. He sounds older now.
He sounds significantly younger.
Older.
You can tell.
Get
Okay,
out of here.
the Bad Batch one was a little baby.
You're an idiot, Justin.
But so the next episode, they have they meet up with another deserter who deserted back in the Clone Wars era.
Cutler Quain.
And he has little baby Twi'lek children, and
But they're not babies anymore, bro. They're grown.
they have to get off of Seleucamai.
Yeah.
and the clones end up helping them. That was a fun episode. And we get development about how the clones interact with Omega, because she is just a kid and none of them are trained to deal with her. And some of the clones are portrayed as having of being differently abled and having different meant in the way they think and interact. So it's been very interesting because they touch on, in the episodes at least that we've seen the Bad Batch in, they touch on some mental health stuff because these clones, since they aren't the perfect quote unquote genetic copies, they have these differences, and they're seen as outcasts. They're seen as not being worth the same liberties as the other clones, but they're just as capable, if not more capable, and they have certain emotional intelligence that lets them better handle and deal with stuff than the other clones have. And their genetic differences also helped their chips not go off, except for Crosshair. But yeah, so the interactions between them and Omega have been very good, and she's not annoying.
Yeah, she's not. When they first like released everything that was gonna be, I was like, they're gonna have a kid. I was like, this is gonna suck. I was like, because I'm not a fan of Ezra in Rebels. I won't hide it. I think I've said it before. I don't think that they did the character well for that show. So I was kind of expecting them to do kind of the same thing with this, but like, I love Omega. She's a great character, and she adds a lot to the show. So it's great having her on it.
Mm-hmm. And in the third episode, things slow down a lot.
Yeah,
But it's good. Again, we get some more character insights. Crosshair is freaking brutal.
Mans is
He murdered. So he was tasked with leading a crew to go hunt down Saw Gerrera, who is a character that showed up in Clone Wars, Rebels, and in the feature film Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
Yes, sir. And in Jedi Fallen Order,
Starring no one that matters because they're all dead.
Dang.
And
talk. Anyways, moving forward.
moving on. They find a group of civilians and he's like, kill them all. And one of his underlings decides to challenge him, so Crosshair shoots him point blank
in the face.
And he tells the other troopers following him, kill the civilians, and they do.
And they show it in graphic detail.
This is a kid's show. But I mean, so Crosshair is gone. I don't think he's gonna get a redemption. I think his redemption is gonna come with his death, unfortunately. If they decide to redeem him,
I was gonna say if they even,
which I think they will. I don't think you're gonna take this character who his brothers are who the focus of the show is, and you don't just kill. I mean, maybe you do, but typically you don't take a character in this situation and just kill him off like that.
Yeah.
But we also got development between Omega and the other clones. And she keeps proving herself capable, even though she didn't meet the Kaminoan standard of a perfect clone. Just like the Bad Batch didn't reach their standard of perfect clones. They've found that they're all capable, and they're a great unit. They're a great family, and I'm very excited to see what else is in store. Like I said, I think we're 2 episodes behind. But we're gonna catch up.
Yes, sir.
Talk about it some more next week probably. But yeah, I'm liking the series so far. If you like Star Wars, you should absolutely check it out. If you haven't seen Clone Wars or Rebels, you don't have to have watched them to get an understanding of what this series is. Mm-hmm. I think you'll still enjoy it. But yeah, it's definitely a great series, and it's shaping up to be one of the greats. I think we'll be comparing it with the other Star Wars series.
But also, if you haven't watched Clone Wars, do that.
It's been a good decade or so. You're really a disappointment to your family
Dog.
if you haven't
Dishonor.
seen
You
it at this
dishonor.
point. But no, absolutely,
No,
go
this-
see Clone Wars. And Ahsoka isn't annoying. I don't know why people say she is.
I mean, even when she was first introduced, I didn't think she was
I loved
annoying.
her.
I was like, hey, we got a new character.
Like,
Nice.
Anakin as an apprentice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, this is sweet.
And she can fight.
Dog.
Like, I was like, oh, Ahsoka's dope. But apparently everybody else was like, woman.
Woman. Forbidden. Oh my god.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe y'all watch it if you haven't, and you'll be like, oh no, she is annoying, and you're wrong. But
I was gonna say, if you think she's annoying, then just keep watching because she becomes one of the.
she
best
goes on a
characters.
character arc.
Yeah.
And she's not the same person that she's introduced as. Again, I didn't think she was annoying. She had flaws as a character,
Yeah.
but Anakin murdered sand people for. I mean, he
He
had
had
a
a I was
reason.
gonna say it wasn't for no reason. There was definitely a cause behind
But
that.
I mean, you killed a man. Maybe you killed a woman, but the kids.
He said, "Nah, they."
He said, everybody catching this smoke.
Oh my goodness! If they're not part of the solution, they're part of the problem.
He said, they the ops. But, but I mean, yeah, she's a flawed character at the beginning, but I never found her annoying, and maybe
Yeah.
that's because I was younger than
10.
her when that came. When
2008, right?
oh, was it 2008?
I think so.
Oh, you're getting old, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. I was... Because you would have had to been 10, and I was 8.
Yep. Good Lord.
He said, you're getting old.
I'm a sprightly 19.
You are 22, my boy. About to be 23.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, man. Well, that puts things in perspective.
Stupid. Shut up.
Oh, I'm glad to be back, y'all. This was fun. But yeah, I'm liking Bad Batch. Kind of don't want this to end. Let's let it go another hour. We grooving today.
We can talk about some more stuff.
No, we'll end it here.
No, I did see... I don't want to spoil anything for you. But there is a surprise character coming in the...
It's Rex.
Oh, okay, you saw.
I didn't see. No. Oh, no.
I didn't see no. Y'all, the distress in this man's eyes when he said that. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm just a good guesser. Oh,
He
man.
said it's Rex. Oh, you saw it? I didn't see. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I didn't want to do that. That's what I was trying to avoid.
He said, oh, you see? No. What have you done?
I'm not watching the show no more.
Oh, man. Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, you jerk.
Look, you said it, so I'm like, oh, he saw it. Never mind.
Not my fault. I'm a good guesser.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. All right. I'm tired now.
Stupid.
Let us know what you guys thought about this show. Maybe we'll cover it weekly like we did Falcon and Winter Soldier. Maybe we'll just wait and do a wrap up at the end. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Don't know what we're doing next week. So maybe it'll be Star Wars again. I don't care. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, it's great.
Now how did that happen?
What?
I'm just looking at my movie shelf. I got some movies out of order. Anyway, that's enough of this. So check out the exploits of Gatherer,
Oh my god.
Smasher, Science,
Science!
and Reverberation.
Stupid.
In Bad Batch. Maybe we'll talk more about how they handle mental health next week. Might as well. I don't know. Or maybe somebody else has already talked about it in an article that's more good than what we do. I don't know.
What could be more good than this?
You're right. You're not getting this content anywhere else, folks. All right. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week.
Welcome back.
Peace.
Peace.